So why tech needs art? We will understand it immediately. I have a PhD in theoretical physics, and I started my career as a scientist. Then I became engineer. I worked for Saint-Gobain. Maybe someone knows this big company. And today I'm an artist and science communicator, and create art installation that explain complex concepts, make these complex concepts affordable, understandable, sensitive, and attractive. My mission is to solve the translation crisis between the tech world that becomes more and more difficult to understand for a non-specialist and the rest of the world. And this crisis materializes in, I would say, three main pains. The first one is the serious communication trouble between the R&D end and the capital holding end. Money doesn't speak tech. Successful tech companies speak money language, but it is not enough because of the information noise. There are too many words, too many numbers, create kind of a banner blindness effect. That it is difficult to understand the difference between two companies working in the same tech sector. And the third pain is a tech anxiety and distrust in the public sector. If we don't see it, if we don't understand it, we don't trust it. I would like to show you a couple of examples of how I solve this crisis with my art installations. One of my art installations that I initially wanted to bring here, that I did not, is called The Hand of the End. Maybe you know that in 1983, we probably escaped the apocalypse because a Soviet engineer, Stanislav Petrov, recognized a false nuclear alarm and refused to trigger a nuclear strike. He looked at his screen and he said, no, this cannot be a real nuclear strike. So the human factor saved the world. Now, in the era of hypersonic weapons, one should be able to decide fast. And delegating the decision to launch the retaliatory strike to some artificial intelligence could seem to be a rational solution. But we should keep in mind that the AI has no doubt. If AI thinks that there is a nuclear attack while it's just some misunderstanding of the data, it will push the red button because AI is blind to the concept of the end of the world. In this art installation, I materialized this nightmare scenario. The robotic hand mimics the logic of a military artificial intelligence. It scans detectors, calculates the threat level, and as the risk approaches to 100%, the hand physically moves towards red button. It's absolutely emotionless. It just works. It executes its logic. And when the audience sees this physical movement, when the hand is hovering right above the red button, there is always a dead silence. Because I translated the abstract fear of a military AI into a real terrifying physical experience. while looking at this, the viewer understands the essence of automation, not with their brain, but with their skin. And it does not annihilate the anxiety, it materializes the anxiety. And it opens a room for discussion, because now we are not afraid of some abstract thing. We know exactly what we are afraid about. Another art installation, you can see it right here, next to the entrance to the plenary hall. This installation is called Fragile, and it was inspired by a discussion with Alain Barat that we had last summer. I don't remember what exactly he said, so I will not quote him, but the idea is that it is important that everybody who is involved in the quantum computer industry understands what the quantum computer is. And so I decided to create an art piece that explains the basics of quantum computing. So it is a kind of sculpture with a lot of math inside. There is a block sphere for a logical qubit. And this curved line is actually a trajectory of a logical qubit on its block sphere under the action of 3 successive 1-qubit gates. Adamar gate, this one, Z rotation Pauli gate, and another one, Adamar gate. And you also can see that this line, this curve, it is thick, and it is thick because I wanted to emphasize that in a real situation we have some decoherence, so we are not really on the surface of the block sphere, but we are a little bit inside. And on the top, what we have, it's a logical qubit by itself, which is materialized in 17th physical qubit lattice code. There are 9 data qubit and 8 ancillary qubits, and I was inspired by an article in Nature that appeared in 2026, and you see these very thin connections between some data and ancillary qubits. These are interactions needed to realize the error correction codes. There is a lot of math, but there is one very important idea. This installation is literally fragile. It looks like made of metal. Actually, it is not made of metal. It's made of some other stuff. And one cannot touch it. If you go to look at it, you will see there are some points, some spots, some imperfections, which comes actually from the fact that someone tried to touch it, or some environment already influenced it. And I really wanted to mirror this paradox of quantum computers, because when we look at them, these are enormous things with a lot of protection, and everything is made of metal. We forget that the main challenge of quantum computers is that they are very fragile. And Understanding this helps to keep in mind what we can expect from quantum computers and that we should not expect, at least right now, from them. And I would like to finish my talk by telling you what is the difference between the standard science communication and what I'm doing. I'm working really on the border between art and science communication. Because often standard science communication uses only words and images, while we are much more than words and images. When you are listening to some talk like mine, you listen to my talk, at the same time you think this chair is not very comfortable, I have cold and warm, too much food at the lunch. She did not reply me why, and we are all this. And to communicate well, including science too, it is very efficient to use many senses. And the art language, when it is joined with a real scientific base, it's a very, very powerful tool.